everyone, welcome to the very first video on my YouTube channel. My name is Ivy and I've been a digital nomad for about 2 years. I spent a month in Banff in February and March, also going to Revelstoke as well as Jasper, and it was seriously one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And that really inspired me because I'm gonna be sharing in this video where to stay, where to eat, where to ski, where to skate, where to hike, and what else to do in Banff in the winter. I'm gonna be posting more videos about what it's like living abroad full time. So if you're interested in learning more about that or how to become a digital nomad, what that's like, what running a business is like, I'm gonna try to post every week. If you're interested in that content, please subscribe and give me some love after this first video. So here's how to do Banff in the winter. Number one, packing. We knew that it was winter. We were going to stay there for a month. We traveled solely with carry-on. So other than some winter clothes, basically packed my skates, which apparently are carry-on friendly, even though it's clearly very dangerous and I can easily cut someone with my skate blades. But most airlines do allow for that. I also brought my own helmet and my own goggles with the intention of renting skis and my partner's snowboard at the mountains. Since we were traveling during COVID, we also brought our fair share of sanitizer, extra masks, Lysol wipes, and all kinds of safety precautions so that we're as safe as possible on the flight there. Going into where to stay. On our first day, we landed in Calgary Airport and we immediately rented a car for the whole month, which was about $1,200 USD on Turo, and we grabbed some takeout and drove to Canmore. You can't go wrong with either staying in Banff and Canmore. We chose Canmore because it is 20 minutes away from the National Park entrance. You don't need a park pass to stand there, and it's actually very, very residential. There's 3 primary schools and a whole bunch of geologists, young families, people that work in the tourism space all live in Canmore, and there's fantastic food. But either Banff or Canmore, there's plenty of grocery places. There's amazing hikes out of both towns, and even just walking within town, there's mountains on every side and it's just gorgeous. We rented this 1-bedroom Airbnb, which was perfect because we were working from home a lot. Rent was about $1,200 USD, and we took weekend trips out to Jasper as well as Revelstoke. What we really loved about Canmore was that there's such good food. Highly recommend Tapas Canmore. We went there twice. Community, which we also went to multiple times. It's very healthy vegetarian vegan food, and this really cute ramen shop which was downtown. I think you just have to search ramen. Don't remember what it was called, but it's owned by some Japanese tour guides that have been in Canmore for 15 years, but they specialize in international travel, bringing Canadians to Japan as well as Japanese to the Rockies. There's also this adorable greenhouse called the Bow Valley Garden Center, and it was right across from our Airbnb. It had a really cute tea house that served authentic Japanese tea, homemade, handmade boba. It was very, very strong taro. It tasted so fresh, and it had the best oysters that I think I've had outside of this place out of San Francisco. Tomales Bay in San Francisco, I think that's what it was called. But amazing, amazing British Columbia oysters. We went there also multiple times. On the Banff side, we visited Fairmont Banff Springs and had dinner at Wald House, which was this crazy gourmet fondue session where you eat cheese to start, cheese fondue with bread and meats. And then there's a main that's meats, and then you go into fondue, chocolate fondue dessert. And we just rolled out of there. I've never been so full. The food was really just pushing up against my lungs and I had to breathe super heavily the whole way home. Going into where to ski, which is the reason most people go to Banff. It has some of the most world-class ski resorts and with just gorgeous views. There's Sunshine Village, there's Lake Louise, there's Mount Norquay. Those are the big 3. And then there's also Marmot Basin on the Jasper end, as well as Revelstoke, which is about 4 hours away on the BC side. Revelstoke's supposed to have the best powder. We went for a weekend. Marmot Basin is actually the smallest, but the highest in elevation, and we went also for a weekend. but most of our time was spent skiing Sunshine Village, which was our favorite with the best views, and Lake Louise, which was a little bit icier and very, very different views, but personally, I definitely preferred Sunshine Village, so Canmore is really close to that. For rentals, we rented at Sports Experts. A ski package was about $35 to $39 per day, which was about $10 cheaper than at the bottom of the mountains. And if you don't like skiing or boarding, Mount Norquay has some sledding, which could be really exciting as well. We heard really good things. Growing up a competitive figure skater, I probably skated more times than I skied. We went to Lake Louise for skating probably like 8 times. It was just so beautiful. I just wanted to skate there all the time. But some other places to check out are any mountain lakes, especially if you go in December or March before the snow comes or after the snow melts. The lakes are pristine. We missed that, unfortunately, but I've seen lots of videos on Instagram. And we also skated at Pyramid Lake. Now that I shared that skating is my favorite activity, I'd love to hear what your favorite winter activity is, because you can probably find that in Banff. Another fun activity to try while you're at Banff is dog sledding in the winter. Now, I know that there might be some iffiness on whether the dogs are treated well, are they forced to run, etc. But rest assured that we did our research and these dogs absolutely love to run. You could tell that every time we stopped, they just wanted to keep going. They howl like wolves and they were actually just bred to be runners. It was a magical experience. We went with Kingmit, which was in Lake Louise. You actually get taken to the Great Divide, which is right between the Alberta and BC borders. It was very romantic, very magical winter wonderland stuff. Or you can go with the Canmore company where you just go around Canmore, you go over a frozen lake. It also looked absolutely beautiful. Lastly, hikes. We didn't go on too many, but you can go on all trails and find all kinds of lengths of hikes, from 10 hours to multiple days to those that are just 20 minutes around a beautiful pond surrounded by mountains, or those that take you to a frozen waterfall. I personally opted for a lot of frozen waterfall hikes because you get to go and climb around an icy waterfall, which you really just can't do in the summer. So we went to Troll Falls, we went to Mudline Canyon and climbed down the canyon to beautiful waterfalls in Jasper, but we also did a few very mini family-friendly hikes around Canmore. We would spend the morning working and then take an hour or 2 hours to go walk around, and that was just as gorgeous. Aside from these amazing activities, the rest of the month, we pretty much just spent working 9-10 hours a day, just waiting for the good weather to go out and have fun. We also hung out with our friends, COVID safe, of course. We were all bubbled up because a lot of them traveled to Banff at the same time, and we all spent 2 weeks apart at first to ensure that we were being incredibly safe to travel during this pandemic. And because all of the places we stayed, whether it be our Airbnb or in Lake Louise, we stayed in Lake Louise Louise Inn, and in Revelstoke, we stayed at Revelstoke Base Camp. All of them had really great kitchens, so we did a lot of our own cooking, had a lot of friends' dinners, and it was just so heartwarming and so much fun. I hope this inspires you to travel to Banff yourself in the winter. It's so magical. It's a winter wonderland. I can't imagine a better winter-based vacation. I also wrote a blog post on my website at ivyshu.com that I'm linking in the description below that you should definitely check out if you want the 1 month itinerary on how we spent each of our weeks separately and how we allocated our time between Canmore, Banff, Revelstoke, as well as Jasper. If you guys like this video, please like or subscribe, leave a comment down below, and whatever else you're supposed to do on YouTube. But thank you guys so much for watching. See you next week.